Hello and welcome to the Historic State Theater. Owned and operated by Jim and Nikki Lagos, the State Theater has long been a cornerstone of entertainment for downtown Springfield. Opened in November of 1921, the State was known to have the largest screen in town as well as the highest seating capacity at over 500 seats. It was also known for its unique design with its castle-type walls and interiors and chandelier lights. The last film to be shown here as an operating movie house was Jacob's Ladder at 9:45 p.m., December 3rd, 1990. Once Jim and Nikki Lagos acquired the building, they began to bring new life to the State by making it available for events such as weddings and dances. The State now boasts recently restored restrooms, ceilings, marble entryway, beautiful original lighting, and marquee lights. They have also made the theater home to the original theater production company, Springfield Stageworks. Larry Caressel, president and founder of Springfield Stageworks, has partnered with the Lagos family to bring several stage productions to the State. So far, we have seen many productions since 2005, including, among others, Endgame, Hamlet, Sweeney Todd, Glengarry Glen Ross, and are currently working on William Shakespeare's Othello, which opens here on April 18th and runs through April 27th. Here's a peek of the Othello actors rehearsing the show.
And thou but needs damn thyself, do it a more delicate way than drowning. Make all the money thou canst of sanctimony, and a frail vow twixt an erring barbarian and a supersubtle Venetian be not too hard for my wits. And all the tribe of hell, thou shalt enjoy her. But by Muse labor, thus she is delivered. Had tongue at will, and yet was never loud.
To do what?
To suckle fools and chronicle small beer.
Most lame and impotent conclusion. Do not learn of him, Amelia, though he be thy husband.
With him? Why, it is not possible!
Lay thy finger thus, and let thy soul be instructed. Mark me with what violence she first loved the more.
Good night.
As if thou had shut up in thy brain some horrible conceit. If thou dost love me, show me thy fault.
Have you
For me.
Oh, gentlemen, let's look to our business. Gentlemen, do not think I am drunk.
He'd waste thy words before thou givest them breath. So these stops of thine fright me the more.
Thy napkin is too little. Let it alone. Come, I'll go in with you.
I'm very sorry you are not well.
How am I then a villain? To counsel Cassio to this parallel course directly to his own good. Divinity of hell. When devils with the blackest sins put on, they do suggest at first with heavenly shows, as I do now. For whilst this honest fool plies Desdemona to repair his fortunes, and she for him pleads strongly to the more, I'll pour this pestilence into his ear, that she repeals him for her body's lust, and by how much she strives to do him good, she shall undo her credit with the more. And so will I turn her virtue into pitch, and out of her own goodness make the net that shall mesh them all.
Springfield Stage Works and the State Theater have also been home to Edgar, a mesmeric passage into the life of Edgar Allan Poe, an original multimedia stage production about Poe. Here's a look into that production, which will return to the State Theater on October 26th of this year.
Among writers, Edgar Allan Poe stands alone by impacting generation after generation with his creepy quality of work and the tragic end of his short life. Edgar, a mesmeric passage into the life of Edgar Allan Poe. A multimedia presentation showcasing the life of Poe from his humble birth to his tragic death and bringing his stories to life on stage. Presented by filmmaker Wayne Justice, a performance theater veteran and lifelong Poe enthusiast.
As I was trying my hand more at directing than acting, looking for material that I wanted to produce for the stage, the only thing that I could find that I would even really want to do was Edgar Allan Poe.
Edgar is portrayed by Shane Smith, also a veteran actor and close friends with Justice.
And so it began. I was going to do a one-man show, but the more I thought about it, I thought, I don't look like him. You know, people aren't going to believe it if I walk out there. I don't look anything like Edgar Allan Poe. So I thought about Shane.
Be that word! Our sign of party! Bird or fiend, I shrieked, I'm starting. Get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore.
Wayne and I have worked together in quite a few shows and had similar tastes in films and music and just quickly became friends.
And he's also been my acting partner for 20 years. And we're always looking for something to do on the stage. And his particular talents really lend themselves to what we would want for Edgar Allan Poe. And of course I talked to him and he said yes right away. And just initially he was able to find that character and bring some amazing stuff out.
I tried to focus on his doubts about faith and what kind of persistence it would take to not only survive hardship after hardship, but to also be as prolific as he was.
To round out the cast, Justice recruited Andrea Klinker, a talented actress with an impressive background in stage performance.
Wayne was really interested in Poe and was wanting to put together a show about Edgar Allan Poe, and I chimed in with, I love Poe too, I love reading it. I remember the very first story I read was Telltale Heart, and I was like in 4th grade, I think, 4th or 5th grade, and it's kind of stuck with me ever since. And it just kind of all fell into place from there.
With the cast now in place, Justice wanted to focus on setting the stage by educating his audience, dismissing the myths of Edgar Allan Poe, and bringing the real man to the surface.
We thought if we took about 15 minutes and made a quick documentary, cradle to grave, and that was how our audience member got to know, okay, this is who this guy is. Now let's see his work.
After seeing the production and the history, the background of the man, it kind of painted a better picture for me to understand his work. So I really appreciated the film before the production play. Yeah.
To have that biographical film at the beginning with our Poe, not just like something that someone else made, but something we actually made with our own characters from the show. It let the audience know who Edgar Allan Poe was and why he wrote the way he did and where pieces fell in his life and how the death of so many important women, especially in his life, affected him.
But I noticed right away that Wayne had a knack for filmmaking and was impressed with a lot of the shots and ideas for shots. And got to meet some new people who were very talented and nice to be around too.
While production of the film was underway, the stage show was simultaneously being created and rehearsed.
it was so much different than what we originally anticipated. Like it was a story, and then it was a set of stories, and there was a plot, but there wasn't, and nothing. It evolved so much from just like 3 people reciting Poe into a very passionate experience for the audience and for us, like telling a story, not just reading a story.
Yeah, it was fun it was a show where you could have an idea on Monday and actually see it being used later in the week or even later that day. It was just really free, and I think everyone felt free to bring ideas up.
Poe says that he wishes for his writings to only circulate the way they were written. So we really wanted to pay very close attention to keeping things word for word and to not really deviate at all from his written word.
When Fortunato is coughing, then he's like, oh, it's nothing. Like, I laughed every time. The first time Wayne did that, I thought he was legitimately coughing because he had been sick. And so I like stepped out. I was like, are you? Oh, no, he's just acting. That's fine.
It's nothing.
And the production itself, I appreciated because it was snippets of things so that you weren't sitting there all evening, listening to somebody,
At the premiere of Edgar, Justice was pleasantly surprised by how well the production was received, performing for sold-out audiences.
It was so exciting that so many people were interested in what we were doing.
On opening night, we were shocked because it was sold out. So then we thought, well, everybody came. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. And then we're sold out again.
As an artist, I appreciated the visual aspects of it. I mean, I really wasn't expecting a lot going in. I just figured that it would be like a black background and actors in front of it. And I'm all about the visual. So from that standpoint, just when we were sitting there waiting for the show to start, just the theater, you set the tone in the beginning with what was projected onto the screen and the gobos around it and all, and then there were a few set pieces and costumes enough that it pulled things together and it had a good look.
I think it's important for people to try to get out and see live theater because there's something kind of magical about it in a world where not a lot of magic happens sometimes. Just to be around other people in the same room is kind of different than just going to see a movie. Just try to, I think theater is kind of something that might change you as opposed to just entertain you. Maybe you'll catch something in it that might make your workday a little easier or something. Or if we just take your mind off your problems for a little bit, that's good too.
And I just like to think that everybody who pays any attention will go home and read a book.
Justice credits working alongside local school districts and local media for the success of each city's premiere.
The biggest surprise and the thing that really floored me was that the younger people really took an interest in it. And part of that is because they're learning that in school for the first time. We were happy to see that schools were offering their students to get extra credit to come and see the show. We've been asked to speak at schools, which is fantastic.
Wouldn't this be a great thing that if a teacher is teaching that course, that they can do that and then see this? Because even that film, I think, was interesting looking because it had some authenticity about it, their clothing and the interiors and stuff. So
I hope people realize what a great writer he was. That there are a lot of different layers to it that can be looked at over and over and over, and just when you think you may have it figured out, you probably don't, and can continue to look at it.
This production unites the mystery that surrounds Poe and the body of work so many adore. A talented cast, detailed documentary, and multimedia presentation has delighted audiences, revealing more on a man they always wanted to meet.